Hello, I'm Otis. Thank you for joining me. I want to explain about the subconscious mind, but to get there, I will have to beat around and explain some concepts. So if you're watching this, just prepare and listen to the analogies first before I get to the definition of the subconscious. Where is the mind, and where does reality happen? Those are two questions that I would like to pass across your mind, that where is the mind and where does reality happen? So the mind, you can't physically point the mind. We say that the mind is in the brain, but we can't go there and find the mind and point that this is the mind, right? And so also with reality, where does reality happen? We think, right, or we perceive physical things happening around in the environment, and then we think that that is reality, right? And we say reality happens in the mind, and yet the mind, is not a physical organ in the brain, right? It's just a bunch of neurons, right, firing up and creating some form of consciousness that helps us to interpret the physical reality, what we call reality, right? So now we find that, hey, first of all, the mind does not exist. It's not an organ, but it's just, a bunch of neurons that is, jointly firing up together to create a certain consciousness. And that counts as the mind, and also gives us a picture of reality. The reason why I say reality happens outside is because we use the senses now to pick information from the environment and then put it together, right? And then, we pass it to the mind, right? Or the brain, right? Which works it all together to create a reality. And if we were to shut down, right, or shut off these neural impulses or coordination, then we won't have any reality, right? So up to that point now, you have a concept of the conscious, how we create a conscious mind and use it to fix our reality, right? So in the mind as well, all right, the mind, the unseen, all right, the bunch of neurons firing up together to create a superconscious, we have layers, all right, just like an onion. We have a layer of the mind that picks up the physical signals and to give us a picture of the physical reality. And then we have the subconscious mind, right, which is a bunch of information that, a bunch of, let me not call it a bunch, but vast information that helps us to piece up reality into a tangible form, right? If you can see a tree, right, you need some information to piece it up together for it to be a tree, right? And so the conscious mind interprets physical signals, but the subconscious mind is a collection of information that helps us to interpret the physical mind. And then we have, of course, the superconscious mind, which is outside now the physical reality. All right, so until this point, you now have a picture of what the subconscious is, because it's just that layer of the mind, right, just beneath just beneath what interprets the physical, all right, just beneath the conscious mind, right? Because the conscious mind is what interprets the physical reality, and the subconscious mind is that layer that is full of information that helps us to interpret the physical reality, right? And so I had to get there, but Sorry also about the kids, they are playing there, so the noise in the background, don't mind about that, okay? And yeah, so to change your reality, you have to reprogram the subconscious, not the conscious. Okay, to change reality, you have to reprogram the subconscious, not the conscious. Why? Because the cues and the signals and the interpretation comes from the subconscious, not the conscious. All right, if you want to change your reality, if you want to change your environment physically, you are not doing something that is wise. All right, so to change your subconscious or to change your reality, you have to reprogram your subconscious. I would also like to explain how now the subconscious now affects reality, right? Because these two are interlocked, the subconscious and the reality, right? So imagine a tree, all right? So a tree behind me here, right? Or this, right? So before, all right? So this is an avocado tree, all right? And for it to come into existence, someone had to have some information they like about the avocado, all right? Maybe they wanted it for a shade, or they wanted it for aesthetics and beauty, all right, to, you know, have a beautiful compound, or maybe they wanted it for the fruit, right? And that information was in the subconscious, and it is because of that love for that fruit or that value that this tree is going to bring that pushed them into action now to actualize this tree now as a, you know, as a reality, to actually plant the seed and, you know, you know, bring it into fruition, and so after so many years, right? And so the subconscious mind plays a vital role in the manifestation of the physical things that we have, the physical reality that we have. The subconscious plays a vital role. And this now gets me to the next level about the subconscious reprogramming, how reprogramming the subconscious affects the reality. I'm trying to make this as short as possible because of I don't want the video to be long, right? So the subconsciousness is, imagine this, all right? So an app, right? An app on your phone, or you just browsing on the internet. The subconscious operates like an app, all right? In that it collects information. It collects information and uses the information to create your reality. And so just like an app, the type of information that you look up online, all right, is going to collectively, all right, they're going to use the cookies to pick up information and then start suggesting what they think is right for you, right? So the mind too works the same way. And yeah, if you want to change your reality, then you have to handpick, or you have to change the information in the subconsciousness, all right, the type of you know, feedback or the type of information that you're putting into your subconscious, which gives you this feedback of what the reality is, all right? So that is why it is highly discouraged, for example, to stop, you know, doom scrolling, right? Negative news and you know, just things that put, you know, subliminally put wrong information inside your mind, all right? So all over the news, it's about violence, it's about all things going wrong, all right? Sometimes they get graphic and describe things that, hey, you wonder that, hey, so why all this description? Because they want to, you know, paint a picture of the vivid, horrific activity that is going on. And this is, you know, subconscious programming. So you can be pre-programmed into anything. You can be pre-programmed positively or negatively, depending on the type of information you choose to get into your head. You find sometimes some people have fears, all right, legitimate fears, for example, about getting robbed or mugged or getting bullied, or sometimes they talk about, meeting the same toxic people over and over, and they don't realize that these are pre-programming in the mind, because you will find that more often the type of pre-programming that we have or they have tends to attract similar experiences into their life, all right? You find that the one who fears getting robbed eventually ends up attracting more people to rob them, right? Simply because the subconscious often subliminally also sends a message to the people around us, all right? Sometimes when I don't want someone to look somewhere, that is when they look, right? Because when I have the anxiety, then it sort of sends a message for the exact thing to happen. And so to pre-program your mind or to pre-program your reality to have a good reality, you have to change the type of information that gets into the subconscious, and then that way you can even attract experiences or get experiences that matches, or get a reality that matches your subconscious. It's not like we are so helpless about the reality that is happening to us. To some extent we have the control, and reprogramming your subconscious or having a subconscious that is effective with effective information, that is what can give you a good reality. And even with physical behavior, you'll find that, for example, sometimes I used to go to a chicken house, and there were these bugs that would bite me, and I found that even after these bugs were not there, eventually when I got into the house or the chicken house, eventually I would start feeling my body was itchy, right? Simply because this information is in the subconscious. And so even with physical behavior, the subconscious really plays a great role. And if you want to study the mind of people, then you have to understand subconsciously what is driving the behavior, right? And even for yourself as well. If you find you're stuck in a certain reality, or if you want to change your reality, then you must start from the subconscious mind, or the subconscious level of the mind, and put in the right information, the right definitions. That way you can be able to reprogram to change your reality. I don't intend to make this video that long, and so I'm going to make part 2. All right, watch out part 2 about now how to reprogram the subconscious mind so that you can have an effective reality. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you. Cheers.